Okay, welcome everyone. I am Paige and we have Marielle Cruz with us tonight as well. And we're here for our Monday night call, I guess, Q&A and a little bit of trainings with everyone. So I guess we wanted to start first of all, just asking if there are any particular questions. I know Leanne had a few. She's on silent at the moment, so she might come in, chime in a little bit later. But anything that you particularly wanted to know, Marita or Sue, just to kick us off, and then we can. Oh, there's Patrice as well. She's just jumped on. Yeah. So any questions that we, can answer for you straight up, please jump in and let us know. Otherwise, we can. Marielle and I thought we could share a few testimonials, but also maybe go through an inner voice report, just how we would do that for someone, for a client. And if we get some time, we might even be able to have a quick look at some vitals as well and just do a little mini reading kind of thing. Yeah. So has anyone got anything for us? Any questions to start off?
No.
Still just playing around.
Okay, yep. That's cool, Sue. That's the best way to learn, I think, playing around with it. Do you do inner voices for people?
More vitals. I do inner voice for myself. My grandson had an earache on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I ran a comprehensive for him.
Yeah,
and
nice.
It brought up both ears, and then I just guessed, so I just threw some stuff in there and he did get better because he was in so much pain, and I just happened to be there because they were down camping. Luckily I was there, and yeah, I feel that he got better, but I was also rubbing comfrey on madly as well, so I think
right. Yeah, it's funny. I have an earache one as well, story from my son. And it was when we first got it. So I was going back a while ago, and I did exactly what you did. I ran a comprehensive and I selected his ears. And then I ran just an earache Cephi for him. And we did nothing else because we were in the car, right? And yeah, within 5 minutes, I looked back and I said, "How are you going?" And he's like, "It's gone." And he was in a lot of pain with it. So yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? I actually had a testimonial come through today from one of our QLAs, and she said, "Oh, can you?" Well, first of all, she messaged me and said, "Do you know any homeopathics for a wasp sting?" And or I think it was wasps, yeah. And I was kind of in the middle of everything, and I said, "Yeah, apis and ledolin, I think, is one of the ones that I would use for it." Anyway, she messaged me back later and said, "Oh my gosh, all I used was the AO." And yeah, I think that's all she said she used. I should just check that quickly, actually, because I was in a bit of a flurry today. And yeah, and she's like, "It's all, the pain's gone, the wasting's gone down. It was amazing, So yeah, that was really cool as well.
I just
Marielle,
Googled. Oh,
yeah, sorry, yeah,
I just Googled homeopathic remedies for earache, and then I threw in a crown chakra as well, because I thought that might. It's just guess, and I try not to overload the kids, so I maybe do about 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And I just
did you use the earache? Did you use the actual earache one in frequencies as well?
I ran it past Deb DJ, and she told me a couple of others, so that's probably the ones that she threw in there.
Yeah, because there is an actual earaches one, like you can actually select earaches. Yeah. So
I was away and I didn't actually have my laptop with me, but I've got all those saved somewhere.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. But that's it. This is the thing with it. Like, I've had one before with my son really, really early on, and he was rolling around in pain with his belly, and I literally did not know what to put on, right? So I saw abdominal pain. It was right up the top. It's right up the top of one of them. And I thought, "Oh, I'll just try that." And I put it on, and that was all it took. And he literally 2 seconds it took him. He was like, "Yep, good," walked out. He didn't even know I was doing it. I'm like, "Oh, hello." And he's like, "Oh, it just stopped." I don't know, it just stopped hurting him. So sometimes you can just literally nail it with one frequency, and that did for him. It was great. So yeah, I think that's cool. Keeping it simple is really awesome as well. Marielle, you had a testimonial. You said that you might be able to share.
Yeah, so I have a couple. So I've shared on a previous call that I actually had a lump that turned up in my breast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the left side. And was it this month? I'm losing track of time now. Either this month or last month, late last month, I started to get real tingly pain in my right breast, and it was paining for some days, and that was kind of the indicator of what happened last time. It started as like a dull pain. And I kind of got complacent. Like normally I've been so good with like my routine, and I normally run my scans every day, and just over the Christmas period, you know how there's that lull, and then well, I do anyway, like there was a big lull, and then I struggled to get back into my routine. And that happened, and I was really lazy with it. So I was like, I should be wanting, I should be scanning, but I just left it. And I left it and I left it and I left it. And I was probably about 7 days into it, feeling very tender and sore. And it was paining quite a lot. So it got to that point where like, okay, I'm going to run the scans. I ran all the scans. So when something like that happens, I just throw the kitchen sink at it. So I did the inner voice, I listened to my harmonics, I did the vitals, the comprehensive, and the body systems. And then I imprinted a Cephi dot, and I stuck it on the spot exactly where the pain was like feeling like it originated from. And I don't know what happened, but exactly where I stuck the dot, I had this like zinging pain go right through where the dot was. And I actually freaked myself out. I sat down on the bed and I thought, oh my goodness, that does not feel good. And I freaked out and I just said, okay, I'm just going to sit here for a minute and compose myself. And then I think I might take it off. But I just sat there for a minute, and within 1 minute, the pain was completely gone, and it has not come back since that. But it was like a shooting, burning pain right through the dot into my breast, and then just gone, nothing. And no tenderness, no, like, nothing. So
that's incredible. Yeah.
And because I haven't actually used, that's the first time I've used Cephi dots for, like I've done the, the energetic clearing and shield one, but I've never done something for something specific. But I imprinted that with the Memory Plus, I think it's called.
Yes, I've heard that's good. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So there's that one, and the other one is my uncle just had a stroke on Sunday night, early hours of Monday morning, and it was a pretty big one, and they found a big clot and everything, and like my auntie was in such distress because they were, saying we might have to operate, and and do you want us to resusc it, and she was freaking out. So I didn't have a voice clip for him, but I just got all his details, and I started running scans straight away. And the next day, he wasn't very, like, he'd lost his cognitive function, and he was really confused and everything. But she got a voice clip for me, sent it through. I ran the inner voice, and I was just scanning as much as I possibly could. And the next day, he had full cognitive function back. And he said, I'm feeling so much better. And I went to see him that second day. Actually, yeah, it was the second day. So it was Tuesday. I went to the hospital, and I'd been running scans that whole time. And he was answering. I got him to do a voice clip there for me, and he was like, "This is the year I was born. He remembered everything." And I've just continued to scan him, and I went to see him today, and I put a Cephi dot near where the clot is that they found. So we'll see how we go with that. But he's loving it so far, and he's like, thank you so much. I don't know what you're doing, but I think it's working. So
that's amazing. Hey, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good to have those reminders, they're big things. Like, that's really, really cool. I've been doing a lot of people via remote, just broadcasting the last week. Like, it just seems that, I don't know, there's a lot of people in need at the moment. So a combination of paid clients, but also, just friends and family and that sort of thing. And so yeah, and it's made massive, like, so I've had someone with COVID, I've had someone with, you know, I was supporting a little girl with nightmares. I was supporting a dog with anxiety. um, and the dog's owner with anxiety messaged me just on the fly and said, oh, I've just had allergies flare up. Can you run me? And actually, that was a big one. She said, I don't know what the growth was, but there's some kind of thing that pops up in your eye. I don't know the name of it, and I don't have my messenger up, but it's this thing, and apparently it takes 3 to 4 days to clear usually. And I ran allergies just for her. I had a list there, and I said, look, I'll just chuck your Sophie on and see what happens. And she said within an hour it was gone. And she said for her that was massive because it was this big thing, and she'd researched it. And she said, I know that's what it was because I could see all the photos and stuff. And she said, yeah, it's gone. So that was very, sorry.
Was it a sty?
No, not a sty. No, it was something else. I hadn't heard of it before. Give me 1 second and I'll find out what, because she's a researcher and she'd done, she knew what it was. Let me see. I'll try and find my messages with her. Hang on a second. But yeah, you know, and then what else? Gosh, I just had so many last week. I had a friend who's kicking cancer's ass. And so I worked with her and, you know, just doing some supportive frequencies for her. And another one with gallstone issues, like gallbladder issues. Her doctor wanted to operate her. She's 20 weeks pregnant and remove her gallbladder. And she said, absolutely not, which was great. So I've just been supporting her with gallbladder frequencies as well. I think she's doing well. I haven't actually touched base this week yet. Just so many, you know, and I guess that's the beauty of these. Oh, and we're also doing the 21-day detox, and that's been amazing. So many people, like, you wouldn't, I mean, I know we believe it, but it's an unbelievable, all of the detox symptoms that from simply running frequencies, and it's been immense. And people are having breakout. I mean, not that that doesn't sound great, but they're all detox symptoms, you know, and they're loving it because they're feeling something, you know. So yeah, so the thing that she had in her eye was, and this is the second time I've worked with her dog actually with this anxiety. Okay, sorry, I'm still looking for it.
Does anyone else have any testimonies from their experience with it?
Hi everyone. I've got a couple of people doing the 21-day detox challenge. They're a bit quiet on the page, but we've got our own little page happening, and they're quite prolifically sharing their details and information. And by all accounts, everyone's doing very, very well and very impressed. So, which is really good.
Oh, good.
So yes, very pleased. So thank you for that page running that. So that's good.
Amazing. Yeah, it's been cool. Like the main chat, there's been a lot, you know, pretty much the same people are sharing, but yeah, but it's good to hear that that's happening in the background as well, because I know people, you know, may not want to add to that, but I can't actually find where she said what the thing, but she said the playlist you did for me the other day for my eye worked, an absolute treat. I should have taken a before and after shot. Then she said, yeah, by the afternoon the cyst had popped and redness had gone. I read that normally it takes days or weeks, so whatever the cyst was.
Was it a pedigree?
Yes, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just thinking, I know she had a message with it in, but I can't find it now. But anyway, it's always the way, isn't it?
I can add something else to all of this too.
Yeah.
I've got someone from work who was having sleeping issues, so I'm just doing a 2-week sleep program for them. They're a week in and they're beside themselves. They're sold, so they are very, very happy. So we've still got until the end of till Friday to go. So that yeah, very, very happy with her results. So
Amazing. Are you just running Cephis for them, or are you running?
I did inner voice,
Yeah.
so just the one inner voice, and just Cephis every day. And I found them all online on various pages.
Yeah.
And have just been mixing them up. So play for a couple of days and then move on to the next one. So
wow, that's really cool. The other thing I do, so for my sleep playlist, because I run one every night for myself, my sleep's atrocious. Although it's probably a lot better now. I just keep running it. And I do things like that I know that are affecting me. So digestion, liver, you know, those things. Yes. So also getting a bit of a history from the person, or looking at their inner voice report and popping on some of those supportive things as well as your sleep well, your insomnia detox, and, you know, all of those things as well as beneficial, I found.
Did everyone see, sorry, the emotional meridian clock that Tammy shared a little while ago? And it's like, you know how they've got the organ
like
clock.
the cycle type.
Yeah, it's the TCM, the traditional Chinese medicine. Yeah.
There's an emotional one as well. So like if you're waking at 3 a.m, it's linked to a particular emotion. And I used that and I added that, which, because I wake at 3 a.m. a lot. So I chucked the emotional one that related to that in there, and that helped a lot.
Okay, thanks for that. And that was on Tammy's page, was it? So,
somewhere on Tammy's, yeah.
Okay, I'll go hunting and have a look, see. So thank you.
Did she relate it back to the inner voice tones?
No.
Or just the emotion?
No, I just put, like, selected the emotion, like, because you know how there are some the flowers and stuff like that. They are the stuff in there. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great idea. Yeah.
I'll share it in the group.
Yeah, that'd be really great. I'll try and find it as well while we're here. The other thing I had recently was my son had some liver enzymes that were high, and so his blood test came back, and I ran all the things for him, but one of the ones that the body systems was actually the best one for me, because we were considering this particular enzyme can have bone issues as well as it being a blockage, you know, like physical blockage with the liver and the bile. And so I ran scans on his digestive system, because that's where the liver is in your body systems. And it actually, one of the first thing was chronic bile, blockage or something like that. And I was like, okay, at least I know that's what it is now. We went for scans and he was actually all clear, but we had been doing the scanner, and also I've been doing tuning forks for liver as well over that time. And we're yet to get his last blood test just to make sure that his levels have come back down. But that was really amazing as well. So just between the comprehensive, the vitals, his inner voice, because he was doing that as well, and then that body system showing that up, we were able to work through that too, which was pretty cool. So yeah, just got to get his last blood test and make sure his levels are all back down. But really interesting kind of stuff, and amazing how you can use all the different areas as well to support that. So I know, Leanne, you might have some questions because you're brand newy. Did you want to shoot with any questions at all?
Yeah, that'd be great. And I suppose too, just ones that come further in training or anything, you can just sort of say you'll get to that or whatever. Because I've just sort of been writing some notes as I went through all the basic training of things that, potentially I missed or just that I'm not quite sure on. For the profile, so is the photo height and weight isn't actually needed unless you want to?
No, the height and weight definitely are needed. The
photo, they are?
Yes, yeah, height and weight definitely. The photo's optional. I like to still do it though, particularly to keep people that I've scanned, because you'll get to a point where there's thousands of people in there. Like I don't know how many I've got in there now, but it's a lot. done expos and all sorts of things now. And yeah, it's just nice to jog the memory who they are. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Oh,
it
that's-
isn't strictly necessary. So if if you're somewhere and you can't get one, or it's via distance or whatever, then yeah.
Yeah. And so just, I suppose, reading the actual reports, is the next lot of training kind of go into a lot of that, or?
Yeah, there are bits and pieces that you can do for that. I've got some trainings that I'm happy to share with you where
That'd be
I've
great.
taken clients through and that sort of thing. And actually, Marielle and I were thinking tonight that we could actually go through an inner voice and say, role play
Beautiful.
an inner voice to show, how we would do that with a client.
Yeah, that
or
would be really good.
The other thing that I really recommend is I have a video. I have a really short one that's just for clients. It's only about 4 minutes, and I have a longer that goes into more depth for people who want more information. So having a couple of those up your sleeve. I mean, I'm more than happy to share mine, but obviously, when you're building your own business, it's great to just do it. You can do videos on Zoom. You can share your screen, as we're doing right now, and bring up the reports and just record it, as you would be like talking someone through it. So I literally send that out every week to people. I had a here this afternoon and I didn't have time to go through it all with them. So I said, it'll be on your email. We played the tunes in my session. And then I said, and I'll send you a quick video on how to use the tunes moving forward, and the onus is on them and they can go ahead and do that. So I'll, oh God, sorry, something fell down. Gave me a fright. So yes.
No, that's good.
And as far as the vitals go, that they're big, and there is a heck of a lot of good information out there on how to read them and the best way to go about it and all the rest of it. But it is a process, and you just take it slowly. And but I can share a couple of resources with that as well of some role plays I've done.
And so for the inner voice, this is probably about sort of reading the report too. But is it the physical potential issue that is causing the emotion, or is it the emotion that's causing the physical, or is it both?
That's a good question. I think it's both. I think it's the emotional causing the physical, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
What I see in my practice every single day. So I think it all starts with emotion personally. So that would be
I tell people that like when you experience an emotion, it's not just a fluffy thing that happens, it's a chemical reaction and a process that and we're electrical beings, so when we have a thought, that thought produces an electrical charge, and that is delivering signals to the body to tell the body how to respond. Like one of the examples I use is, if you have the thought, I'm hungry, your brain will send signal to the body via chemical to say, start preparing the thyroid for your salivary glands and stuff for food. So you can see how that like thought and emotion translates to a physical sensation. It's the same thing when someone really makes you angry, and that chemical goes through the body, and if your hands can shake, or your throat can tighten, or your face can go red, and that just shows you that like emotions are completely linked to physical responses.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So much of it's subconscious too, isn't it?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I had a little boy here today. I was doing a balance on him, and he gets bullied all the time. And this kid's only 9 anyway, and I was doing a balance for him, and I said, oh, something happened when you were 4 years and 4 months old. And he goes, yeah, I got bullied. And I was like, do you remember that? And he's like, yeah, that's the first time it happened, but it's just repeated for him over and over. And I said, so all of these kids that you've just told me about, because he gave me a heap of names, and I said, you know what they're doing? They're just repeating that pattern that got stuck in you. And I said, so we're releasing that today. And it was anger. Right. And so, and because he responds really angrily to people. Right. And so, yeah, it's phenomenal. And he knew straight away. He was like, yeah, that was the first time I got bullied, got angry. And I was like, okay. It's phenomenal. It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Yeah,
And
it's
it's
really
really other thing too is like our like central nervous system is being governed by our emotional state, and
Yeah.
they call it the central nervous system for a reason because it's central to everything. And if your
Yeah.
emotions are out and you're putting pressure on your nervous system, that's going to put pressure on everything else, and your body can't do what it needs to do from a state of being in, like, havoc.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, definitely the root cause is emotion, but then
Yeah.
it does turn into something physical, but then it just
Yeah.
kind of goes back in from there. So
Yeah.
I
That
agree.
makes sense. And I suppose just because I've been just mucking around with all the different scans and things, is there which ones have to be face to face? Which ones can be remote? I suppose is
They
probably
can all be remote.
can all be remote. Yeah.
My business is almost 100% online for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't like doing in-persons for the scanner.
Well, I suppose that's what I was trying to get my head around too, that I'm like, is it potentially taking our energy on as well?
Oh, it's not really because of that. It's just that it's nice and it's so much quicker and easier online. I
Yeah.
find share
Yeah.
my screen. I'm not sitting beside them trying to show them on a little screen or on my laptop
Yeah.
or, you know what I mean? Like I just find it a lot easier and more seamless.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all of them can be done. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
when you do
agree.
this, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree. I prefer online too, but when you do get someone in person, if you've got the glasses and the wand, you can give them kind of the full experience, and that's quite great for people to see the whole scanner.
Yeah. Well, I do art therapy, so at this stage, I'll be offering it sort of within sessions for those that are open to it, and then also just as a separate sort of thing as well. So,
Nice.
but yeah, I love the idea of the color therapy because I think, well, that's actually something that we can then do an artwork while they're wearing the glasses and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It does feel different, like an in-person one to an online. The online is definitely more convenient and
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
But also, I think what you'll be doing mainly, Leanne, is probably in a voice in that setting, you know.
Yes.
And in a voice, I'm fine with. I always do it for my in-person clients, but I just don't spend the time explaining it because I send them the little video. You know what I mean? You can just literally pop the tunes on, and then you can say to them, "Hey, there's a report behind this. If you don't want to go into it, you know, and spend your time doing it there."
Yeah.
So that's super simple. The other side of it, though, the vitals and all of that sort of stuff takes some time, and that's the ones I prefer to do online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it really interesting when I first did a comprehensive for myself that all the foods that came up that were red are foods I don't like and try to avoid anyway.
Perfect. Yeah. It's funny how that can.
Like it's just your intuition, I suppose, and you know, your DNA saying protect yourself.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I found that really interesting. And just if you are doing face to face, if you do the shield and then the clearing, can the client be in this room while you do that, or should that be?
Yeah, I
separate?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's not a problem with that. Marielle, do you agree?
Yeah, as long as it's on your profile and you're doing
true.
then you switch it over.
Yeah. No, I think, and that's pretty much it for the moment, just while I,
Yeah. Well done. Leanne literally signed up. What day was it? Like Thursday or?
I don't even know.
Oh, wow. It was late last week, so you've done very well to get through all the basic training and do that. I need more like you, please.
Yes, my undiagnosed ADHD that got a bit of hyperfocus happening.
Oh, that's awesome. It's good.
But no,
it's great.
it was good. And I know I'm the sort of person, if I don't just get into it, I'll just end up getting a block with it and go, oh, I can't do this or it's too hard. So I thought, throw myself in and see how I go.
A lot of people do that with this, you know, they see that there's all these things to research and then they go, oh, that's too much, you know. So great. I'm really that's awesome.
Yeah, I need to have a play around with the supplement scanner. I still can't quite get my head around how that can work. It's just amazing.
You will, because you'll start and it'll be like, oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah.
Come up because you can put therapies and all sorts of things in there as well. So yeah, I have my kinesiology in there. I have the red light therapy. I have everything sort of listed in my therapies one as well, which is really amazing. And it's great because it tells me when I need a kinesiology or a, massage or whatever. Yeah. So it's very, very cool.
So yeah, I actually contacted my friend that I buy. I've forgotten the name again. It's hopeless. I take so many of their products each day.
My dear?
Yes. So yeah, I actually contacted her, like the
Yes.
consultant, and she's really keen. So I said, well, just let me get my head around it.
Yes.
So I'm like,
amazing.
especially
If you need help with that as well, don't be scared to, reach out, and I'm happy to jump on a call and help with that too.
That would be great, because I suppose,
It's super simple. Once you've done one, you'll be like, oh, that was so easy. But very happy to help. Yeah. Awesome.
Because if and when I get to the stage of signing someone up, am I the one that needs to do, I suppose, everything that you've done for me? Is that what I'm then doing, or does someone?
I help you to start with. So
yeah.
So if you said to me, hey, I've got someone, I'd be like, okay, let's, and I would help you through that process.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
So you learned the process, you would be part of it, but yes, I would help you through.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's just like, until you know yourself what you're even selling. So
yeah, that's it. No, 100%. Absolutely. Just a little reminder as well, guys, we had a bit of a back and forth with one of my QLAs today. She used the wand. So I'm not sure, Leanne, I don't even think I've spoken to you about the wand yet, but
no,
it's amazing. I don't actually have one yet. So
I
borrowed Rex though for my son's foot the other week. And yeah, I really need to get one, because every time I turn around, someone else could use it. And I'm like, can't keep borrowing things.
Universe is telling you need to just get it.
I know, absolutely. But one of our girls used it for like 10 minutes after her client's kinesiology appointment. He went out and went straight to Solex and bought one. So make sure you're telling people that you sell them, because she's potentially missed out on that sale
commission.
He didn't make it clear to him that she was a distributor for them. So just really clear with your people whenever you do scans and different things and whatever. I know sometimes we have a bit of an aversion to sales, and you don't want to, but always say, if people ask me about it, I always just say, I'm a distributor for this. So if you're interested, come back to me. I can get you a better deal, because this guy went retail, which means he bought it for $12.95 US instead of, we can get it for $9.95. That was the other confusion that came up today as well, that I'd like to just speak to is now, this QLA has been with me pretty much the same amount of time that I've been in the business, but she had confusion over the fact that if you sign a PC under you, so that's a preferred customer, they do not need an active subscription. They do not need a monthly order, but they get all the discounts that we get as a QLA. The only difference between a PC and a QLA in terms of buying power is that as a QLA, you're able to on-sell. Okay, so you become a distributor and you earn commission. So having that active subscription every month, and that entitles you to, share it with people and get a commission for that. Okay. So, but a PC can sign up at any time, preferred customer, and get all the discounts that we get on all the supplements, on all of the products, the wand, everything. Okay. So I was shocked that she didn't get that, or maybe she was just having a brain fart. I don't know. But I was like, oh my gosh, how do you not know this? I think so. Just keep that in. Sorry.
So I used people, in my experience, people used to be able to sign up as a PC without having an active subscription, but there was a point, I don't know if it's changed again, where it wouldn't let you get the PC pricing unless you had an active subscription.
No, you can go in and put someone up as a PC.
Okay.
You need an active subscription for QLA, but no, for PC you don't.
It is worded that way on the site, but I know there was a little workaround before, but okay, I'll go back and have a look at that. But it does say preferred customers. There's something in the wording that says around having an active subscription, but I'll go back and have a look. Yeah.
Because I have people who purchase as preferred customers all the time in my business.
Okay.
So I'll just check something while we're talking, but yeah.
I can as well.
Yes. So do we want to do a bit of a bit of a role play on that. Would that be helpful to everyone if they were to see a role play on the inner voice? Maybe, maybe not. Or is
everyone's nodding, saying yes, okay?
Yes, okay, great, perfect. Okay, let me just check one thing. I'm just going to check how someone turns up in my thing. Um, Okay, so I may be wrong on that because I actually order under my mum, but she has no active subscription as a QLA. I just order under her, and yeah, I thought she was actually in as a PC. Let me just see. So you might be right on that. We might have to check that out further.
I'll check.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, well, we will definitely confirm that, but I know that I've had people just come in a 660 band, and they've been able to just do that as a PC and get the discount. So if you've got people who want to order one-off products, then I know you can definitely set them up as a PC without an active subscription. Maybe there's a minimum order.
Yeah, actually, I think that might be it.
Might be a minimum points order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just make sure it's one of the, it's not just one bottle of blue or something like that, I'd say, probably. Yeah, that might be what it is. All right. So, Marielle,
yeah,
shall we pretend we've done an inner voice for you, or do you want to send me your inner voice?
Yes, I can
today? Yep. That's probably the easiest. And then we can just go through. Did you want to do it that way? Because I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I haven't emailed it to myself.
And it's on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's well, look, I'll just share mine from today, and then we can go through it, and I'll pretend that I'm the client. Okay. And I don't know how that's going to work. I'm sure I'll do something. Okay.
You can just pretend I'm you and talk to me as Paige.
Yes, okay, we could do that. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let me just pull up my voice from today, which took a very long time to process. Oh my God, it drove me insane this morning. I was like, can you just run? Yeah, you have those days someday, and I'm like, oh my God, just do it. Okay, here we go. Share screen. All right. So pretending, Marielle, that you are me, is there anything that's kind of been happening in your life lately? Have you got any big emotional things going on for you?
Yes, I've been under quite a lot of stress lately because I had 2 uncles in hospital, and my parents lost their car in floods, so there's been all sorts going on.
Yeah, you said it's been a bit of a rough start to the year. So yeah, okay. So basically what we have here is our inner voice report, and you've just spoken into the device for 10 seconds, and we've recorded that. And what this report now does is actually, it acts like a little bit like a lie detector test, and it's picking up the different octaves in your voice, and it's giving us some feedback as to what's happening in your body, okay, as a result of the emotions that you're feeling at the moment. So the octaves is what's driving that emotion. So you can see the different colors and the different notes here, and that is what is being picked up through the inner voice. Now, when you come to listen to this, we have a pulse tones here that you can see in a classic tones. If you go to the classic tones, you can literally just press play and it will run through each of these. They're a 3-minute tune each. So you can pop your headphones in. Always use headphones because it is a bit like binaural beats where you're getting the different tones in both ears. And yeah, you can press play. The pulse tones are a relatively newer thing, and they're a little bit more customized to the individual. Okay, so the classic tones are obviously still picking out what that's heard in your voice, but the pulse tones actually gives this little pulse that happens underneath like that. Okay, and that is actually where the gold is, and the music over the top is just makes it nice to listen to. But as for the music over the top, you can do the drop down menu here, and you can select, it's already gone into it. You can select whichever music, suits you. I love the Zen meditation. That's the one that I usually use. All right. And so then once you've selected that, I would select 10 minutes. That's what I would recommend you do daily, and press the play button. Now, I'm actually going to send you through a little video which will have all of this on, because you may forget this when you walk away. And this will actually appear, because we've sent it to you with this little button, this will appear in your emails, and it will say AO Inner Voice. Okay, so you can just literally click on the link in that email, and this will bring up exactly what you're seeing here with this report. Now, if you are a bit of a geek and you want to, read all of the information about it, it's all here, and you can absolutely do that. I don't go through it in every single presentation that I do. But yeah, it's all there for you to have a look. And this is talking about the chromotherapy as well, which is another part to what we offer with this scan. So it's got a little bit of a summary here saying that we've got the high frequencies and the low frequencies. The low frequency is the one. So these ones are usually more of the conscious ones, and this lower frequency is more of the subconscious. So it's a bit of more of a buried one that we may not be aware of. The other thing that I really want to stress to you before we jump into the report is that sometimes these won't be your emotions, okay? They may be what's happening around you. And I've had that happen a number of times with my people. So if you're not relating to them, that's totally fine. Just say, but I'd like you to extend your thinking beyond just you and what's happening to you right in this moment. And maybe it's somebody that you're interacting with, or another situation that you're a part of, even if it's peripherally. Okay, so the first one that's coming up for you today is self-critical versus self-accepting. Now, this is like a little bit of a sliding scale, and it means that you're sitting somewhere on that spectrum. Okay, these corresponding note was the E note that we saw before. And now this E note, all of the notes have a positive and a negative, right? And these are pretty much generic. So I don't spend a lot of time going through those, but please have a read of them, because they are really great and you get to know them as we go. Generally, if it's being picked up, we're looking at the negative sort of emotions here, okay? But the E note may come up as a supportive note down the track as well, and that would be the positive side of it, okay? The color supportive note A sharp is what's coming up, and we've got this beautiful magenta color as well. Now, if you were here in clinic with me, I'd get you to pop on this color as one of the color therapies to do, and they say to actually wear that for about 15 minutes. Oh no. And the personalized stuff hasn't come up for me today, so that's great. Technology. I must have only done a half scan today. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, let me go to somebody else that I did today. Oh, wrong one. I'm actually going to, I'm going to give you a real life client that I worked with today, the little boy who was being bullied, and I'll see what comes up for him. I actually didn't read his report. I just played his tunes for him. So this will be interesting. And hopefully it's turning up. Okay. Yes. Yay. Okay. So we've got this little boy. And if I'd been taking his mum through this, rigid beliefs versus open to possibilities. Now, he came to me for learning difficulties and being bullied. Okay. So we can see here that he's needing a bit of gold, which is love, compassion, courage, wisdom, and illumination. And some of the emotions that he's got are unworthiness, self-confidence, self-esteem, conflict. Now, I can tell you in his balance, it was self-esteem that came up, okay, as the main emotion to work with. And we can see here. Now, I don't spend a lot of time in the potential causes or the vitals, okay? Because you can get bogged down in that. I do have people often say, oh, what's that? Oh, wow, you know, I know that I'm deficient in that, or I know that that's a problem for me. As we're going through, and I just say, yeah, look, that's part of a bigger scan, and it's a lovely way to actually let them know there's more behind the scanner. But I say, look, we're not really focusing on that right now. It's interesting that it's come up, and you know, that's all validation, but we're not going to look too deeply into that right now. But what I do want you to have a look at is these imbalances and suggestions. So digestion, endocrine system, and reproductive male has come up for this little guy, okay? So there are some great suggestions there to help him. So pre and probiotics, hydrochloric acid, endocrine system, so reducing toxicities, consider chiropractic, consider adrenal and thyroid support, and reduce stress, reduce toxicities, and consider chiropractic. So there's a few things that have come up. So chiropractic's come up a couple of times, and funnily enough, as I was working on this little boy today, he's like, oh, it's like a chiropractor. You're doing things like a chiropractor. And I said, oh, have you been to a chiropractor before? And he said, no. But isn't that funny that he, and I said, how do you know about what a chiropractor does? And he goes, oh, I've seen them on TikTok. And I'm like, it's not, right? So isn't that funny that he's actually picked that up? And I will bring that to his mum's attention. I think it probably could be beneficial for him, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How funny. So then we've got conflicting beliefs versus congruent beliefs. So he again is somewhere on this spectrum. We have the positive and the negative emotions associated with that A sharp. So see, an A sharp was, no, that was in my report, but an A sharp was my negative one, right? And my report, but it's his positive one in this one. Oh no, sorry, his supportive notes E. So again, low self-esteem, nervous exhaustion, and I don't know what the uncertain about love is. I know that he's been struggling because he feels left out because he's different to the way his family are. Okay, so the rest of his family are quite neurotypical, and he's a little bit neurodiverse. And we did cover that in the session as well, and that he's feeling a little bit that way. So then I would again bring the focus down to the color yellow, but also that it's affecting the lungs, the muscles, and the lymphatic system. And again, we have these considerations here. So a lot of increased hydration there. We did talk about him actually having enough water, and he's drinking water from the tap at school, right? So unlikely that's actually getting into his cells. So it's probably why the trace minerals are coming up and why he's showing up, because he said he does drink quite a lot of water, but obviously it's not getting into his system. So my suggestion there would be for his mum to have a look at getting some minerals or electrolytes into him to help him absorb that hydration and try and get him to drink better water. So we've got suppressed emotional versus self-expression. This little guy struggles with anger management, right? So he tries to suppress it all at school, and he's actually doing quite well at that at the moment, but he comes home and he explodes, okay? And because he's kept it in all day, and he can relax when he gets home, but it comes in, comes out as quite emotional. So again, we could be suggesting that this orange color would be supportive for him to wear, the glasses, if he's here in person. And we've got depression, frustration, and lack of confidence, which are all things that he's been feeling, particularly that frustration, which then turns into anger for him. So we've got kidneys, large intestine, and reproductive male again. So that's something that really, and again, that reduced toxicities. Now, when I'm seeing this and the digestive stuff, in the back of my mind, I'm actually thinking that potentially there could be some MTHFR stuff going on, mainly because I see a lot of MTHFR kids. But that's their classic signs for MTHFR is that hydrochloric acid, which we saw up earlier. We've seen digestive enzymes again here, pre and probiotics, food sensitivities, and that toxicities, that the body's not handling toxicities properly. And the hydration, I believe, is also a bit of an MTHFR thing. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that potentially that could be something as well. And I may ask a few more questions around that as well. This little boy has also got a bit of a weight issue, so I think metabolism and things for him is also a bit of an issue. So conditional love versus unconditional love. Again, like I said before, he's got some challenges there with feeling accepted and loved in his own family, just a perception of him because he's so different. And so we've got lack of feeling, fear of intimacy, and emotional inertia. And I observed him within our session that he would switch off. So if we started to get too deep, that lack of feeling would kick in, and he would just, not go any further with whatever we were going into. And that would probably be that fear of intimacy, and he's definitely got that emotional inertia. So, and again, we would look at the eyes, the liver, and the duodenum. So yeah, just having a look. And so I didn't have time to do this in my session with him today, with his mum, but I will go back to her and make some suggestions based on this. And so out of that, I think digestion is really sticking out. Digestion, hydration, and probably to assist that hydration, it would be some minerals that I would suggest. And I always try to start with just the easy, simple things, so those things are relatively simple, particularly for a little guy. Popping a bit of Celtic sea salt as minerals, or getting some, sea minerals or something like that isn't a massive big thing, for a mum to handle, or a little person to sort of add into their routine. And then, some of that maybe digestive enzymes, probiotics, that type of thing is also not such a stretch, I feel, but could make a really massive difference. And maybe the chiropractic as well would be something that I would suggest there as well. So that would be how I would do it. And then, yeah, would you add anything to that, Marielle, when you do yours?
We just had, that was really great. Just I let people know that where the body's illuminated, if you scroll up a little bit,
Yes.
just where the body's illuminated, that's where that particular emotion is impacting the body. And
beautiful.
A lot of times you will see the links from that to your vital, what the stuff that's coming up in the vital scans as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Yep. That's great. That's a really good point. That's awesome. So we can see here, yeah, that is showing the kidneys, large intestine, and reproductive. Yeah, it's pretty cool like that. Hey, it's insane to do that in such a snap.
Yeah.
And yeah, that visual is awesome. I don't do that. So I will add that in now, actually, because it's a really great visual to just go, oh yeah, that's where that all is. Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. Does anyone else have anything to add? I know a lot of you have been doing inner voices for people. So do you do anything differently? Do you add anything in? Have anything to add to that?
I add something else. I have a lot of people ask me about the different settings, and they get a little bit overwhelmed with all the different things that, the Tesla.
Yep.
And I just say to people that there is no right or wrong way to listen to that. They can play around with it as much as they like, and it's just a case of what resonates most.
Yeah, absolutely. I generally say, look, I think it sounds the best on the settings that it's on. And I don't get a lot of questions on that, but I just say, keep it as it is, but just change the music.
Yeah.
So, I keep getting the piano one. I'm like, that's because it's the first one and it pre-selects it. You can actually change your music.
I hit auto mix, and I always get the, what is it? Sawtooth or something like that. I'm like, I hate that. And every time I select auto, I get that every time. So there must be something.
I don't even know what auto mix is.
Oh, okay. So auto mix, it just arrange it for you and what it thinks you need the most, like in the best. Yeah.
Wow. I'll try that tomorrow. Thank you.
I
have never done that. That is very cool.
Yeah, so it selects it for you, and I swear it gives me sawtooth every time.
I hate sawtooth. I won't do it
as well. So a lot.
I actually don't like any of the others. Like I don't like any. What we're talking about is here, because you can have square, sawtooth, and sine, as well as triangle. But you can let me know if you like a different one. But oh my God, I hate them. And then even the timing, like the all of that. Yeah, the only ones I like are the pre-cert ones. I'm like, yeah, bring them on.
I
Except
don't
the
mind
music.
square. I don't mind square. It's not so bad, but yeah, the sawtooth is like, oh, ear piercing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we are almost on the hour, so if nobody else has any questions, I hope that was helpful. Yeah, sometimes I think it's nice just to do a bit of a review. Sorry, we didn't have my report. That was interesting. Perhaps the universe didn't want people to...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, it's all right. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. And if there's any final questions or anything you'd like to know, just pop in quickly. Otherwise, we'll say good night and we'll see you again next Monday. These calls are on every single Monday. So yeah, and there's always something different. It's great because we're having all sorts of different people turning up and doing different things. And as you can see from tonight, Marielle and I have, you know, a lot in common, but there's things that we do differently as well. And it's great. Like, yeah, who knew? I didn't know about the auto mix. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Tonight too. Thank you, Paige.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So thanks everyone for being here. I hope it was helpful. And
Thank you.
See you next time. No worries. Bye guys. Good night. Bye.